Welcome to the first podcast for the I-80 Corridor System Master Plan Study. This report is for the week of April 21st, 2013 and summarizes the latest project activities. This podcast is brought to you by www.i80vision.org. I'm your host, Dr. Perry Gross. This study is exploring the I-80 communities and the implications of livability principles for the Western Corridor in order to generate enhanced mobility investment strategies for the future. Today we will cover the status of the study task forces, working groups, stakeholder outreach, and we'll have a celebration at the end. First, the task forces. Members of the Partner States Task Force are engaged in stakeholder outreach to identify additional participants. These stakeholders will continue the dialogue based upon initial study conversations that identified working group topics such as tourism and wildlife crossings. The Planning and Technical Task Force members participated in a joint task force conference call to review the overall study and specific emerging elements such as the development of a livability self-assessment tool. This tool is being developed to assist stakeholders in better understanding the implications of livability principles. Remember, many task force members are participating in multiple working groups. Now, turning to the working groups. Currently, there are 13 working groups. The leadership team recently combined the Managed Lanes group with the Alternative Program and Project Delivery group, which is slated to begin meeting in mid-May. The GIS chair, Lacey Kolkman, reports great progress in developing a platform for the GIS component of the study. Co-chair Manju Kumar reports Alternative Energy Working Group met on Tuesday, April 23rd, to work out the final details for their scenario planning work, which begins next week. The Freight and Logistics Working Group chair, Mike Lawson, has held several initial meetings to identify subtopics for exploration and overall logistical organization for the group. Now, the Safety Working Group Chair, Andy Blanchard, says the group has identified subtopics and is about to start discussing the first few topics in early May. The MAP 21 Working Group welcomes new chair, Kent Cooper, from CA Group. Kent and co-chair Andrea Napoli are introducing some ideas to help structure the group's exploration of MAP 21 requirements, as well as strategies for future federal authorizations. The Tourism Working Group, chaired by Christine Absher, held their first meeting on Tuesday. This first meeting began organizing the group and broadening their understanding of how their discussion may benefit corridor communities and shape mobility strategies. Emily Kabovchek, the Wildlife Crossing Working Group Chair, reports continued recruitment of participants and has learned that this topic is generating broad interest. The ITS Operations Working Group continues to explore opportunities for coordination with existing I-80 Winter Coalition to ensure that they collaborate. The Rural Planning Working Group Chair and co-chair, myself and Andrea Napoli, are discussing organizational strategies with key stakeholders to better meet the needs of corridor communities. An initial thought is that the group should be more focused on community planning topics, so stay tuned. Chairs for the Maintenance, Truck Parking, and Public Engagement Working Groups report that they are in their initial formation stages and having discussions with their co-chairs. Now for stakeholder outreach update. Members of the study leadership team plan to convene a meeting, including a WebEx, in the Salt Lake metro area on May 8th and the Cheyenne metro area on May 10th. The leadership team continues organizational activities, and hopefully this weekly report will have more details next week. A similar meeting in WebEx is scheduled for the Sparks-Reno metro area on May 21st. Finally, stakeholder outreach is scheduled for the Sacramento metro area in early June. Now, wrapping up with today's celebration. NDOT Study Manager Coy Peacock and I have been invited to discuss the I-80 Corridor System Master Plan study with the Institute of Transportation Engineers Western Region Conference in Phoenix, Arizona in July. We are both excited to present our experiences for the study. That's all for this weekly report, and remember to visit www.i80vision.org for all the details. Till next week.